Welcome back to our channel. Today we will learn about adding and subtracting simple fractions without or with regrouping. Come. Let's learn together. There are three major types of fractions. We can define the three types of fractions as proper fractions, example, 3/7, in which the numerator is less than the denominator. Some examples like 1/3, 3/4, 2/7 are considered proper fractions. Improper fractions, example, 6/5, in which the numerator is greater than, or equal to, the denominator. Some examples like 4/3, 11/4, 7/7 are improper fractions. Mixed fractions, example, 2 1/2, in which there is a whole number and proper fraction together. Some examples like 1 1/3, 2 1/4, 16 2/5. Here are the types of fractions that are classified into groups. They are categorized as follows. Similar fractions, also known as like fractions. The fractions which have the same denominators are called like fractions. For example, 1/2, 3/2, 5/2, 7/2, 11/2 are like fractions. Other examples we have 1/12, 3/12, and 5/12. The fractions which have unequal denominators, or different denominators, are called dissimilar fractions, or unlike fractions. For example, 1/2, 3/5, 4/7, 7/6, 8/9 are unlike fractions. Some examples we have 1/12, 3/10, 5/17, 7/9, 8/11. The last type of fraction we have is equivalent fractions. This is when two or more fractions have the same result. After simplification or reducing to lowest terms for which they represent the same portion of the whole, then such fractions are equal and are called equivalent fractions. We have 1/2 and 2/4. They are both equivalent fractions. And we have 1/3 and 3/9. Now it's time to learn from this simple word problem. Mark bought 3/4 kilogram of banana and 1/4 kilogram of mangoes. How many kilograms of fruits did he buy in all? Let's examine the problem. What is asked in the problem? Yes, the total kilograms of fruits that Mark bought. The given numbers are 3/4 kilogram of bananas and 1/4 kilogram of mangoes. What operations are we going to use? Yes, addition. The number sentence should be 3/4 plus 1/4 equals n. What type of fractions do we have? Yes. Similar fractions, since we have the same denominators. Since they are similar fractions, we can add them right away all the numerators. Copy the common denominator, that is 4. Add the numerators, 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. To simplify the answer since it is improper fraction 4/4. We divide numerator 4 to the denominator 4 to get an answer of 1. The answer, Mark bought 1 kilogram of fruits. Let us have more examples. Add this similar fractions. 4/15 plus 6/15 plus 3/15 equals. Let's remember that when adding or subtracting similar fractions, we copy the common denominator. Then, add the numerators. Let's do it. Add the numerators. 4 plus 6 plus 3 is equal to 13. Copy the common denominators, which is 15. The answer has no other common factors except 1 and itself, which means we cannot reduce this fraction to its lowest terms anymore. The answer is 13/15. Let us have another example. Subtract this similar fractions. 7/8 minus 1/8 is equal to. Let's remember that when subtracting similar fractions, we copy the common denominator. Then, subtract the numerators. Let's do it. Subtract the numerators. 7 minus 1 is equal to 6. Copy the common denominator, which is 8. We can still simplify 6/8. To reduce it to lowest terms, we will find the greatest common factors of both numerator and denominator. To find the greatest common factors, The simplest method we will use is by listing method. Listing all factors that we use for the certain numbers. For numerator 6, the factors are the following: 1, 2, 3, and 6. For the denominator 8, the factors are 1, 2, 4, and 8. The common factors are 1 and 2. The greatest common factor is 2. So, we use the greatest common factor 2 to divide both numerator and denominator. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. The final answer is 3/4. Since the fraction is consecutive numbers, and we don't have common factors anymore, let's have another example subtracting simple fraction with dissimilar fractions 9/10 minus 1/2. As we notice, we don't have the same denominators. First step is to change dissimilar fractions to similar fractions. We must find the least common denominators of 10 and 2. There are 3 methods of finding the LCD. We have by prime factorization method, the continuous division method, and by listing or skip counting method. Today we will use the skip counting method. For denominator 10, we have 10, 20, 30, 40 and so on. For denominator 2, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on. Our least common denominator is 10. Thus, we use 10 as our common denominator to change dissimilar fractions to similar fractions. Let's do it. 10 divided by 10 is equal to 1. 1 times 9 is equal to 9. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. 5 times 1 equals 5. We can now subtract the numerators 9 minus 5 to get the difference of 4. Then copy the common denominators. Since 4/10 can still be reduced to lowest terms, we must find the greatest common factors of both numerator 4 and denominator 10. The factors of 4 are the following. And for factors of 10 are these. Take note that we use the listing method of finding the GCF. We simply write all the factors of 10 and 4. The common factors are 1 and 2. The greatest common factor is 2. So, we have to divide both numerator and denominator by the GCF 2. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. 2/5 has no common factors except 1 and itself. So, 2/5 is the final answer. Let's have another example. This time we add simple fraction with dissimilar fractions 2/4 plus 3/8. As we notice, we don't have the same denominators. First step is to change dissimilar fractions to similar fractions. We must find the least common denominators of 4 and 8. Again, we will use listing or skip counting method. For denominator 4, we have 4, 8, 12, 16 and so on. For denominator 8, we have 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, and so on. Our least common denominator is 8. We use 8 as our common denominator to change dissimilar fractions to similar fractions. Let's do it. 8 divided by 4 is equal to 2. 2 times 2 is equal to 4. 8 divided by 8 equals 1. 1 times 3 equals 3. We can now add the numerators 4 and 3 to get the sum of 7. Then copy the common denominators 8. Since 7/8 has no common factors except 1 and itself, and the fraction is consecutive numbers, we cannot reduce this to lowest terms anymore. Therefore our final answer is 7/8. Let's test your understanding the concept. Use the correct word to complete the sentence. To add or subtract similar fractions, add or subtract the numerators and just blank the denominators. What's the missing word? Yes. Copy the denominator. To add or subtract dissimilar fractions, first change them to similar fractions. Then add or subtract the numerators, then copy the blank. Express your answers to lowest form. What's the missing word? Yes. Denominator. I think you did great. This time. Let's learn more. Try to add or subtract the following fractions. Express your answers in the lowest terms. Once you're done, you may check your answers in the description down below. Enjoy and good luck. See you in the next video.